Welcome to the future and welcome to the world of UltraFit. I'm Mike Noang and I'll be guiding you on how to successfully install UltraFit Wincrest. This video is step-by-step instruction on how to install Wincrest Clear and Wincrest Nano Ceramic. You would need some window tint experience, but we developed this video to help reduce the challenges. Now let's get to it. The first thing you want to do is prepare your slip and gel solution. For the slip solution, you want to mix together 1 ounce of Johnson & Johnson baby soap with 1 gallon of filtered water. If you're using concentrated gel, you want to pour 25 ounces of gel into a 32-ounce spray bottle. Now add 7 ounces of extremely hot filtered water into the spray bottle. Finally, add 6 milliliters of Johnson & Johnson baby soap and shake well. You will need a clay or scrub pad to prep the windshield, a soft prepping squeegee, extraction squeegee, a film slitter, a knife with a 45-degree stainless steel blade, and a knife with a 30-degree carbon blade. Guide tape. We recommend this fiberglass guide tape. A suede hard card, a gray hard card, microfiber towels, a spray bottle so you can fill it with extremely hot water, and finally we recommend using a commercial blow dryer and heat gun. Depending on the vehicle model, you will need to remove the windshield wiper, pillar, or trim pieces. For this Rivian, we only need to remove the windshield wiper. We will be doing a lot of cleaning. We're going to be using a scrub pad to clean the windshield and then use a microfiber towel to clean all the adjacent panel to remove any surface contamination. Make sure everything is dry before moving on to the next step. We will be using a guide tape to tape the lower part of the windshield. The guide tape that I recommend is a fiberglass tape that you can cut on with a carbon blade without cutting the glass. When measuring the windshield, always measure at the lowest part of the windshield and then extend it 2 inches on both sides. Use a table or a glass station to lay your film on and measure out the amount of film you need and cut it. Make sure the cap sheet is facing you and remove the cap sheet without creasing the film. Tape up the extra roll of film tightly to prevent any tunneling. With the cap sheet removed, it is very important to place the line of sight on the windshield. Pay attention to how we transfer the film to the windshield on the video. Lock the film down in the center. We recommend starting at the bottom when sizing down the film about 1 inch over. Size down both corners as close as you can so the film doesn't buckle. Use the film slitter to size down both sides and the top of the film about 1 inch over. Now let's start shrinking the film. Lower the film 1 to 2 inches from the top edge of the windshield. Lock down the film horizontally from the middle out to shrink the top portion. Lift the film at the same time so you don't crease it. Lock down the sides starting from the middle up. This will create the finger that you will need to shrink. Create smaller finger by dividing the larger finger. This will make them easier to shrink. You will be using a suede hard card and a heat gun to shrink the finger. Start from the bottom of the finger. Heat the finger evenly, moving side to side toward the top of the finger. Use your suede hard card to card the finger and repeat the process. Keep applying heat to make the finger smaller. Keep the heat gun moving so you don't burn the film. The reason you need a suede hard card is so you don't scratch the film. Be patient through this process. Keep dividing the finger to make it less challenging to shrink. Repeat this process with each finger. Keep dividing the finger to make it less challenging to shrink. Again, be patient through this process. Now let's move on to shrinking the bottom portion of the film. Raise the film 1 to 2 inches from the bottom edge of the windshield. Lock down the film horizontally to shrink the bottom portion. Again, lift the film at the same time so you don't crease it. Lock the sides starting from the middle to the bottom. This will create the finger that you need to shrink. Since the glass is flat at the bottom of the windshield, this process will be less challenging. Create smaller finger by dividing the larger finger. Again, this will make them easier to shrink. Starting from the top of the finger, heat the finger evenly, moving side to side toward the bottom of the finger. Use your suede hard card to card the finger and repeat the process. Now it's time to transfer the film back to the table or glass station. Make sure the liner is now facing you. Pay attention to how we transfer the film in this video. Cut off 1/4 to 1/2 inch of the film from the top. The reason why we do this step is to remove any burnt edges so it doesn't affect the install. Now cut off 1/4 to 1/2 inch of the film from the bottom as well. Use a scrub pad to clean the windshield and then use a microfiber towel to clean all the adjacent panel to remove any surface contamination. Use your prep squeegee to remove the slip solution. Clean all adjacent panel. Spray slip solution on the windshield and let it sit. Remove the liner from the film and spray the adhesive side with slip solution. Now squeegee the slip solution you let sit off the windshield. The reason why we take this extra precaution is so if there's any debris, it will sit on the solution instead of the glass. Spray gel solution on the outer edge of the windshield and adjacent area. The reason for that is so there's no debris will enter the installation area from the adjacent area. Lightly spray your slip solution on the windshield. Transfer the film onto the windshield with the adhesive side toward it. Now let's begin to install. Position the film in place and lock it by squeegeeing horizontal from the center out. Begin extracting the top portion first horizontally. When you reach closer to the top of the film, squeegee vertical from center out. Roughly trim excess film from the top of the film so the excess solution doesn't enter the installation area. Repeat the same technique to the bottom portion. Heat out any minor finger with a heat gun and card them out. We'll be trimming the bottom of the film. Make sure you break your blade and then cut on the fiberglass tape. If you do not have a fiberglass tape, you will need to use a stainless steel blade so you don't cut the glass. Now remove the guide tape and extract the remaining solution. Use extremely hot water. Flush out the gel and slip solution. You do not want the gel solution to sit on the panel because it can stain them. This is not the final trim, but you will need to roughly trim the side. If there's any minor finger, use the heat gun and card them out. Now this is the last step. You can do it at the end of the day or the next day if you're going to cure it overnight. You're going to be micro trimming the excess film at 45 degrees so you don't have any lifting issue in the future. Now it's time to seal your edge again with a commercial blow dryer or a heat gun.